Hello, everybody. Kathy and Anita are here today to share your path to renewal, and we are up. Actually, it just went live. So hello, everybody. This is Anita and Kathy here to share your path to renewal. We're glad you're here. We're excited. Here we go again, and today we are going to introduce ourselves, give a little background, and then we're going to go into our topic, which is create your life by design or by default. It's a pretty loaded question there. How do you create your life? And then we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we are going to move into the foundation of Kathy and I in our business together, and we'll give you an overview of Univera and the premier aloe company of the world. And so what we'd like to do is first start by introducing ourselves, and I'm going to turn it over to my big sister Kathy to start that, and we'll get going.
Great. Thanks, Anita. Whoops. Hi, everybody. I'm Kathy Kenny, Anita's older sister, as she told you, and I'm talking to you from Fort Collins, Colorado, and we are really excited for you guys to join us in this life adventure that we're beginning together. And I'm the second oldest of, just a little background about me, I'm the second oldest of a family of 10 children, and Anita's the sixth. And I grew up in Dayton, Ohio, and have lived in Colorado since I was 18. But I have 3 children, been married for about 37 years, almost 37 years this December. And I have 2 older sons that are 33 and 29, both married, and then I have a 24-year-old daughter. So that's just a little bit about me. I was a preschool teacher for 25 years. I then became a yoga instructor and Reiki master, and also began work in a company called Univera, which you'll hear about a little bit later. Oh, you can hear my husband making his healthy drink this morning. So Anita and I joined together in that venture, and you will hear a little bit more about that later. About 10 years ago, I really wanted to make a change in my life, and the kids were getting older and moving out, and so I was really looking for a purpose and possibly some changes in my health, and so got joined with Univera. So I'm going to put it back to Anita and let her introduce herself to you.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody again. I am living in Virginia, and I've been married for a little over 23 years, and I have 3 beautifully spirited boys. One is actually 20, so I guess he's a man now, and then I have 2 teenagers. One is 17, a senior in high school, and the other one is a freshman, and they keep me pretty busy with all their sports and their other activities, and it's really my biggest job that I have. But I was a teacher for many years, and then continued on, not really actually being in the regular classroom, but in other various capacities of teaching, including yoga, which Kathy and I had that connection together too, which has been really powerful for Kathy and I to not only connect with Univera, but also to have the yoga teaching and actually being lifelong students of yoga together. I really, I found that several years ago I was really struggling to find out, the purpose of life. Why am I here? Went through some major challenges with, some family situations. My husband's sister was killed in a car wreck, and just some other things that made me kind of stop in my tracks. And just having 3 children and looking at that and the powerfulness of that into my life of being responsible for these 3 individuals just made me kind of contemplate life and what we're doing and what this is all about and where we're going, and really started on that kind of like what I would call my spiritual path, I guess. And on that way I found not only yoga, but connected with Kathy because of a health issue, which we'll talk about in a little bit, to Univera. So we are just glad. The reason why we wanted to do this is because we found that so many people during their lives reach a place where all of a sudden they're asking those lifelong questions of kind of like, why am I here? What am I doing? What is my purpose? Do I have any value? Am I making a difference? And those kind of things. And so Kathy and I have joined together, and we're so excited because we were able to get together a couple times a year, and we've been able to connect various ways through phone, opportunities and things like that. But this platform, which is so amazing, these webinars, we can reach across the whole world, which is so powerful. And so that's why we decided we wanted to start using this platform and doing a weekly webinar so that we can connect with you around the world and create this environment where we can come and we can share your path to renewal. Is the reason why we call that, is because each one of us has a different path. Although in our minds we're all connected, and so that path has some similarities, and we want to share some of our journey with you in the hopes that that will help you to be able to experience your journey. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to start with our topic, and we chose this topic as the beginning part because these questions that we're going to ask you are pretty powerful, and they can reveal a lot about where you are. And obviously, if you're here on the internet searching, you're probably at that point where you're looking for something, and to make a difference in your life. And so the question that we're asking you is to think about is, do you create your life by design or by default? And if you take a moment just to think about that, the power of that, do you create your life by design or by default? And how you answer that question can probably be pretty reflective of where you are in your life. And so I'm going to turn it back over to Kathy, and she's going to kind of dive into that.
Thanks, Anita. So one of the reasons I'm so passionate about being here with you, and I think I can speak for Anita too, is that we all have these life experiences that we go through, some of them not so great, and we often think that we're the only ones having them, and you feel kind of all alone. But what we really understand is that we're all having these certain issues. I like the statement of all the same but different. It may look different, but we're all having some issues of maybe disconnect and experiences of feeling really alone in our world. So I think what I would like you to do is just ask yourself that question. Do you really believe that you could design your life, create and design your life, or that you would have choices to make to change your life to ways that you would want? Or do you believe that you're kind of stuck, so it's kind of by default that you're, the people and the situations that you're in are just happening, and there's really, maybe you could change your life or do something if they would change? It's something to really think about, because I think maybe we think we're one way, but in certain things we're the other. So sometimes you fall in the middle, and in certain ways you do believe that you could create or design. Maybe in the small things in life you believe you have a choice, but maybe the bigger things you feel like, well, you're kind of stuck, and these other people and situations will have to change for my life to change. So that's something to just write down. Do you believe that you have the ability to create your life by design, or do you believe you're kind of stuck by default? Or write down the certain things, the certain situations that you might have either one. The other thing is to ask yourself if you really enjoy what you're doing in life, or are you just getting up every day, going to the work, doing what you think you need to do and have to do to make ends meet or whatever, and you really have no joy in it. That's something to really look at. Do you have joy in what you're doing? Is it fun? Are you excited about it? Are you passionate? That's something to really ask yourself. And the other thing I want to talk about is, and Anita and I talk about this a lot, 3 things. Your thoughts, major big thing. What you say, also very big, and what you do. So do they line up? Are they all in a line, or are you thinking one thing, saying another, and then doing something altogether differently? Really think about that. Is what you think, say, and do all lined up? I mean, how often do we go to a meeting, or maybe a school meeting? I'm thinking back when my kids were still in school, and they ask you to be on some committee, and you say, sure, I'll help, and you're all happy, but inside you're thinking, wow, I've been doing this for the last few years. Maybe someone else should step up to the plate. I really don't have time to do this, and I really don't have the energy to do it, and I really don't want to do it. But I'm going to please these people and make everybody happy and look good, so I can look good, and I'm going to say yes. And then when it comes around to doing whatever, maybe I'm not doing it at 100%, or I'm you know, just not happy about it. I mean, that's where all the chaos in life really can come from, when all of those things are out of alignment and you're not in integrity and you're not being honest and truthful with yourself. And so I think that we all have to come to the conclusion that we do that at some point. Even if we're so good and so nice, we still try to please others, and we still often are doing things out of integrity for our own benefit and for our own lives. So I think I'll give it back to Anita. Maybe I missed something, but I'll...
Okay. Well, yeah, and I think one of the things that when Kathy talks about that, I think that's one of the most powerful things, if you could take that away with you today, because I know that when I heard about that, I was like blown away. I was like, oh my God, because I realized when I started paying attention to it how often I was out of line, like where my thoughts and what I was saying and what I was doing were not in line with each other, and how that did create chaos in my life, mostly for myself, not really for anybody else, but really for myself, because I got myself involved in things that I really didn't want to, and realizing how much I was trying to please other people without taking into account myself, and even to the extent of taking into account my family and my kids. And so I think it's really a really valuable thing. And Kathy and I learned really through yoga that that's where authenticity really kind of cultivates its stuff, by really taking a look at your thoughts and then what you're doing and what you're saying, and that they all line up with each other. So the question that I want to ask too is, do you think that, because it's right in line with all of this, do you think that happiness comes from within or without? And once again, like Kathy said, you might think that it's a little bit of both, and I think you probably are right. But I think if you look at how much, especially with the way our society is today, how much people are really looking to the outside for their happiness. You know, the next relationship, that's when I'll be happy. My next vacation, the job, the right job that I'm looking for. And I think one of the most valuable things that I learned through my path of yoga is that the only moment that you really have is this present moment. So if you're thinking about being in the past, you know, if you're just going over and over what you did wrong in the past or how the past turned out, or you're looking towards the future and you're worrying about the future, or you're thinking that your happiness is going to come in the future, then you're really missing the most valuable point that you have. And that is right here in the present moment. And if you're not happy in this present moment, that's where you need to start, and you need to look. And I can tell you, and I think Kathy can too, because Kathy had a great saying that I take with me all the time, and that it starts with you, and it starts with taking that time to be quiet and to kind of move inward. And Kathy said it's like the Velveteen Rabbit when you start doing that, because you come alive when you start to really look inside. And sometimes we're scared to do that, because the stuff that's in there, we think, you know, we're hiding. All of us have dark sides, and all of us have things that we might be hiding, and we're afraid to go look there. But once we do, we usually realize that it's not really as big and scary and bad that we thought of. And actually, you might find what I call the lotus flower too, is where everything just kind of opens up and starts to bloom, and you start to really see the value in yourself. And I think anything that's going to happen in life towards your success and towards your being happy has to start with that cultivation of valuing yourself. And so these activities that Kathy and I are talking about are really helping you to start that process of cultivating that inner value, that you know, and I really believe that one of the reasons why we're here on the planet is to really learn to love ourselves. And until we learn to do that, we aren't able to extend that out into the world and to make a difference. We busy ourselves doing things like we talked about, like joining the PTA when we don't really want to, because we think that we have to do things like that to please other people. So I'm going to turn over to Kathy.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of piggyback on what Anita was saying. I think about, you know, being able to make changes in our lives, and believing that we have the ability to make changes to make ourselves happy and to make the people around us more happy. I think that whole thing of when we make New Year's resolutions, that's what I wanted to bring up. When we, you know, New Year's resolutions. Everybody makes them. And a lot of times we have a big list. I know that I have a book group. We write things down, and then we put it in the little box for the next year, and then we see if it happened or if we addressed any of them. And it's kind of interesting. But sometimes we have this long list of what we're going to change. Oh, we're going to exercise, we're going to eat better, we're going to treat our kids better, we're going to treat our spouse better, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We have a big long list then we look at it on New Year's Day and go, whoa, that is so overwhelming. There's so many changes that I need to make that why bother? Why bother even going there? It just looks too much. And I think that if you could just pick one thing that you might change in your life that you feel could make a difference, you start from there. You just make baby steps and see where you go with that, because one little step and you complete that, and then you can move to another one and another one and another one. And so it's not that you have to make all these changes. Believe me, the changes, I can say that 10 years ago I felt like I needed to make a lot of changes. I've made a lot of changes, but this is 10 years later, and it's taken it's been a process, and I keep having other ones added on. So it's a never-ending process. You're never going to get all of them done, but you will change your whole life, and you will transform when you just start making the tiny little changes. So maybe just write down what one or two little changes that you'd like to make, and begin looking at that rather than the whole thing. So back to you, Anita.
Yeah, and if the happiness component too, like if you're not happy in your job and your life and whatever you're doing, your relationships and everything, sometimes it's not really about, people kind of get scared because they think, oh, I have to quit my job and find something, or this relationship isn't working because I'm not happy right here. Sometimes it's the little things that we start to change that starts to change that attitude, and then we start to see things differently in our relationships. We start to see things differently in our jobs, and we start to see things differently in just the moment of the day. So I think it's about, making those subtle little changes, and part of that is getting to know yourself a little bit better and getting to know what it is that you really value and like in your life that can help you see that. There was something that you were talking about that I kind of slipped out of my head. I wanted to reiterate that we were talking about. The happiness thing. Oh, I know what it was. It was when we were talking about being happy, and some people say, oh yeah, you can just kind of, life, I create my happiness or whatever. But if you think about it, everybody experiences some tragedy in their life. Everybody's going to have challenges, and that is so true. But one of the things that I think that I learned that has really helped me to move through life a lot easier, because Kathy and I have both experienced a lot of death in our lives, in our family, and that's a reality, that we're born and then we're all going to die, and that we're in between there. There's going to be life challenges, life things that we have to confront. But it's how we react to those situations, I think, that really changes that. And so it's not that we're trying to sugarcoat and say that there aren't going to be challenges in life and there aren't going to be things that we experience that really hit us at our foundation, on our root, but it's just that we have the ability to create a way that we move and react in the world that allows us to have an experience that's different if we're moving from a space of, should I say, like fear. So I think that to just start asking yourself those little questions, like, do you design your life? Are you creating your life, or is your life just happening to you? And then the happiness thing. Do you think happiness comes from within or without? And just start to explore those. So Kathy, their homework is?
Their homework is to write down on a piece of paper. Or maybe not even write this down. Sit with this really quietly for a little while and just really go inward and check and see if you truly believe. Do you believe, honestly believe, really believe that you have the ability to create your life by design, or do you believe that you're kind of stuck in some certain situations and with people that, unless they change, and maybe write down the certain situations maybe that are on either end of that. And then also to ask yourself or write down if you are enjoying what you do. And if not, what could you do that could maybe make a little bit of a difference with that? Maybe it's not, like Anita said, you're not going to just quit your job because you hate it. Maybe you're going to have a change of attitude or a change of thought about how you could go in each day, or how you could react to what's what you don't really like, and maybe to maybe speak up and say something and take care of yourself. The other thing is to, Anita and I talk a lot about joining body, mind, and spirit, and what are you thinking, saying, and doing? And I think that that is the epitome of joining body, mind, and spirit, are your thoughts and what you're saying and what you're thinking, you're saying, and what you're doing, are they all lined up, or are they all over the place and all crazy? And are you saying things to people that you don't really mean, and you don't feel, you're just trying to look good or make them happy? So that, I think, is a big one. And I think that's it, Anita. Back to you.
That's great. Well, so this is the part of our webinar that we're going to segue into what Kathy and I have joined together to design and create in our life, and that is Univera. We both are in business together, and so you are more than welcome to stay on here and follow us through our journey. We're going to introduce you to the company, the products, and the business opportunity. And if not, you can pop off right here. We're going to be back next week with a webinar on intentions. Powerful. So hopefully you're going to see that our webinars are going to kind of build on each other, so that we can lay a strong foundation for you to getting you started on your path to renewal. So we're going to start by, I'm going to turn it over to Kathy because she is my big sister. And I'm going to let her start because she's the one who introduced me to Univera. So Kathy, your testimony.
Thanks, Anita. So about 10 years ago, I was at that place where I really needed to make some changes. The kids were moving on, going to college, moving out, and I was kind of, I had been the soccer mom for a long time, driving them around, and I was also a preschool teacher at the time. I really felt I was starting to get into yoga, and that was great. But I also was carrying around some extra weight, 15 or 20 pounds, that people said, oh, when you get in your 40s, that's just basically what happens. You're going to kind of have to live with that. And I also was lacking a real purpose. I felt like, where could I put my time and have a bigger purpose that would maybe affect more people? And so I was looking for something there. I was introduced that saying of when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and that's pretty much what happened. I had a yoga student come up to me and ask me if I was interested in trying something for my health that would bring me energy, and I was like, yeah. I definitely was lacking in some energy, maybe, and also mental clarity, focus, stress, and joint pain, and I was absolutely interested. So I started taking some of this product, and that you'll hear about in just a few minutes, and I really, really had a amazing amazing reaction at first. I got energy pretty quickly, and not everyone does. You'll hear Anita, wasn't as quickly as mine, but I got some really good energy. I felt like I didn't have to sleep in the afternoon. I started to lose some weight. After a few months, I couldn't stop talking about the products. I felt so much better. I really felt cleared, and I felt that I just felt like like I was starting all over. Like, here I was in my late 40s, and I was just beginning my life, and I was so excited about it that I couldn't stop sharing it. And that's when I shared it with Anita and some family members, and it went on from there. And I could tell you tons of stories of other things with my health and my family's health, but I'm going to shoot it over to Anita, and I'm sure you'll hear more about other ones in other webinars. So,
okay. All right. Well, Kathy, I was out visiting Kathy in Colorado about 10 years ago, and she was drinking this stuff, and so she introduced me to that, and I drank the products while I was out there, and I really liked them. At that point in my life, I had started kind of on this, after having the kids and finding yoga and doing all that stuff, I had kind of started down this path of wanting to be healthier and living healthier, and so I was really, intrigued with the products and everything. But by the time I got home, I didn't really follow through. I didn't sign up for the products or anything for a while until I started having some health issues, and I actually had to have surgery, and I was looking at some more extensive surgery because I had a precancerous condition, and Kathy said, why don't you just try these products? And so I did, and I can tell you I would have continued to keep taking the products even if my situation hadn't turned itself around because of the way they made me feel. Now, I didn't have an overnight boom success story like Kathy did. I can tell you that Didn't notice it. It was like a subtle thing that happened. About 2-3 weeks out, I noticed that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, remember I had 3 young kids at the time, I didn't want to just, I wasn't looking at when is the next time I'm going to be able to rush and go lay down and take a nap. I was at the place where before then I was really looking towards that, and the thought of having to do dinner and get my oldest through, you know, his homework and all that kind of stuff was just like overwhelming to me because I was so tired and I just wanted to lay down. So that kind of started to go away, and I started to get this feeling like I wanted to work out again. I wanted to move my body. I wanted to feel better. And then 6 months out, my biopsies were better. By 9 months out, the doctor said, good news, you don't need to have surgery, and good news, things look good. So I can tell you I was more than thrilled. And at that point, I felt like I had a responsibility to share these products with other people because of what had happened to me. And then Kathy took me to a convention, and after that, I'll be with this company forever because the integrity of this company and the business, the owner, his philanthropy, and his commitment to changing the world, it just speaks to me, speaks to my heart, and he'll do anything to make that happen. And so I'm on board for forever with this company. So what we want to do is turn it over, and we want to show you the vision and mission of this company. We want to show you the products and then the business opportunity. And so I'd like to share the screen right now. Make sure that it's working here. Okay. Can you see that?
I can see it.
Yay. Now let me see. Does it move?
Yep.
Yay. All right. So here we are. Kathy and Anita share your path to renewal. And the reason why we say share your path to renewal is because we're all on our own path, like I mentioned before. And Univera has a great way of being able to help you find what's, you know, we start with a couple products that everybody really helps with everybody, you know, and then you can also, if there's issues or concerns or areas that you want to focus on, there's a way to address that too. So it's your path. Univera actually means one truth. We have breakthrough science, and we are applying pharmaceutical science to natural products. Kathy, you want to jump in and just give a little bit more about how they came to this name?
Sure. You'll be learning a little bit more about the owner of our company, Bill Lee, and his father, Yun-Ho Lee. And it was a long time ago when they were early on in business together, and the father had already started several companies, and they had decided that at one point they would love to have a company called One Truth. And the one truth that they're talking about is that real health and healing happens and occurs and is found in nature. So you'll hear more about this, Univera being the leading aloe company in the world, and how they do farm to family and grow their own products, the plants, and you'll learn more about that. But that's what they wanted. They wanted to share with the world the one truth where healing comes from nature.
So Univera is the premier aloe company in the world and the natural products industry. They own the world. The EcoNet, which is a group of companies with Univera being the distribution leg, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a few slides, is that it owns 40% of the world's aloe. So basically anything that you're buying off the shelf in the United States that has aloe in it probably comes from our Aloe Core company, which owns 40% of the world's aloe. We deliver the high-quality, scientifically based, life-changing health products around the globe. So what does Univera have to offer? Well, Univera has products that provide vitality, strength, energy, and vigor so that you are really building a strong, healthy foundation for your physical body. And then we also have purpose. The purpose not only is about sharing the products with other people, but we've also have a culture of service in this company. And we have, the owner has founded a company called nonprofit organization called Serve First, and each customer and associate can, if you sign up for a convenience plan, which we'll talk about in a little bit, you can actually feed 4 starving children in the world every time you sign up for one of those. And then you can also donate as much as you want to that organization. So, and they're feeding the starving children of the world. And they actually started in the United States, in Mississippi, one of the most malnourished states in our country, in the United States. And then they've gone to other places like Honduras, and Kathy will be able to tell you a little bit about that because she was able to travel with Bill Lee, the owner, to Honduras with the Serve First Foundation. And more, what do we need? Prosperity, financial security. The economy is really kind of in a really weird, twisting, turning way right now, and people are looking for a plan B, or they're looking for more security. And this type of business, relationship marketing, has that stability. And it's the fastest growing type of business there is right now. Bill Lee, the owner and chairman of Univera, is continuing his father's mission and legacy. His father, Johann Lee, in the early 70s was diagnosed with a form of with a serious illness and told to get his life in order. And he wasn't ready to go. So he, being a billionaire businessman in Korea, started looking for alternatives. And basically, because the traditional medical way was not working for him, and basically he didn't have any alternative. And so a friend of his introduced him to aloe, and he started drinking aloe, and he lived for 22 more years after that. When he noticed the miraculous medicinal purposes of the plants that he was using, he decided to totally change his business around to bringing the best of nature to humankind, and also cultivating a business of service. And they chose relationship marketing because relationship marketing is a great way to keep everything in-house, from the farms to the family, so that the integrity of the products are maintained. And Univera is set to be the top 10 in the industry by 2020. And right now, out of about 150 different multi-level marketing companies, Univera is 68, I believe. They might even be moving up. I have to check that number again because it kind of shifts a little bit. So Univera has a very, very strong foundation because it has global resources. It is the distribution end of a group of companies called the EcoNet, all owned by Bill Lee. And they have 2 Unigen. They are pharmaceutical grade companies, Unigen East and West. One is in Korea and one is in downtown Seattle, Washington now, and they have full-scale genomic research labs with scientifically proven results. We have science to back up our products, and the genomic labs are really, really powerful in the type of research that our company does, because it looks at things at the DNA level, the genome level, and so it's just really powerful. And the only companies in the world that have this kind of capability are pharmaceutical companies. And Kathy's going to talk to you a little bit more about that when she takes over the science part. Aloe Core, which I talked a little bit about, has 10,000 farmed acres, worldwide leader of aloe. Nature Tech is our manufacturing arm of the group of companies. And as you know, most of you probably know that the FDA does not regulate supplements, except for they do apply this good manufacturing practices label on companies that they feel are meeting or succeeding or even going above and beyond what they would require for companies that they do regulate. I hope that makes that clear. Did that sound like that made that clear, Kathy? It's more, the FDA does not approve supplements. You'll hear people say a lot about things like, well, that's not FDA approved. Well, no supplement is approved by the FDA. It's not like pharmaceuticals that get approved by the FDA. So to get this stamp of approval, the good manufacturing practices is like getting that standardization from the FDA, because it's the only way that you can.
It's really the highest level approval that you can get in the natural product arena.
Exactly. And not many have it.
No.
So look for that. And then, of course, Univera is the distribution leg. Why Univera? Because the world needs preventative care, and we feel that Univera is on the forefront of a new healthcare system. Our healthcare system right now is a sick care system, and we fully believe that if we can work towards giving the body what it needs to heal and repair itself, because it has that natural ability, then we can prevent a lot of the illnesses that we see today. And so it's based in preventative care instead of the sick care system that we see today. So there's also a financial benefit. The sick care system that you're paying into now and the quality of services that they have, as opposed to a real healthcare system, which would be helping you to give your body what it needs to heal and repair itself. So I'm going to turn it over to Kathy. She's going to talk about our Chief Science Officer, Stephen Cherninsky.
So this amazing man on your screen, CSO Stephen Cherninsky, is Univera's Chief Science Officer, biochemist, and the best-selling author of 4 books. His most recent one is It's All About Energy, The Metabolic Makeover, and I would highly recommend that you read that book. It's a great, great book for anyone wanting to make some changes in their health. I'd also recommend you going to the Metabolic Makeover. You can go to his Facebook page and to the Metabolic Makeover, I believe. Is that what it is, Anita? Metabolic Makeover Facebook page?
Yeah, it's the you have to put the
Metabolic Makeover. Yeah, go in. You can get a newsletter. They send out recipes. It's a great, he and his wife, Dr. Natalie Cather, have written the book together. He is an amazing, I've heard him speak tons and tons of times over the last 10 years. He's a developer of Univera's life-changing products. So he and the team of he and Bill Lee together is incredible. He was retired actually way back in I don't even know, he was in his 40s, I think, late 40s at that time, and Bill Lee found him and had read the DHEA Breakthrough, one of his other books, and said, would you like to prove your theory? And Stephen was retired, and he was sitting there, and he goes, well, sure, but I'd need, millions of dollars, I'd need scientists, I'd need this and that, and Bill Lee said, okay. And Stephen talks a lot about how he got the key to the treasure chest, and he was able to do his work that he had dreamed about, and that is what Univera is all about. He's also been a lecturer and advisor to members of the U.S. Olympic team. Just an incredible, credible person.
Okay.
He's got some favorite quotes, and these are a couple of our favorites. And Stephen says, because the problem is aging, not our expanding waistlines, not our high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or failing memories. These are the symptoms. Aging is the problem, and until we begin to deal with the underlying causes of aging, we will never achieve optimal health. And I think Anita was talking about, the sick care that we have. Often we wait until we get into this aging place where we have all this stuff happening, and then we go to the doctor to kind of get a pill, to make us well, where to get on top of it when we're younger, like Stephen says, is that, get on top of it and prevent all of these things from happening in the first place. Obviously, we're not going to prevent ourselves from aging, but we can sure have a different experience as we move through the aging process. The other thing that he says is you have an astonishing capacity for regeneration. By activating your regenerative power, you can slow and even reverse the aging process, which is what we're doing with Univera. And how is that possible? So did you realize that every single person on the planet regenerates 300 billion cells every day? And that 35% of disease in the world has been scientifically proven to be 35% genetic. The other 65% is really up to you and the choices that you make, your daily choices, your whole lifestyle. So I think the simplest way that Stephen talks about this whole idea of regeneration and degeneration is showing the seesaw on the bottom of your screen. And if you can look on the left, high energy repair and rebuild is what we have when we're born up until about 35. When little children fall down, they break their leg, they repair pretty quickly. They get a cut, they repair pretty quickly. They get sick, they bounce back fast. But as you get a little older, it takes longer and longer. And then when we're around 30 to 35, sometimes we're seeing it even younger now, people being more stressed and having more damage, it flatlines. And then about, after 30, 35, sometimes younger, we start this damage and breakdown. We start to have low energy. We start to have the high cholesterol, the weight gain, all of those things that Stephen's talking about, the aging process. And we have more and more stress nowadays, and it seems to be happening faster and faster. So what we're really wanting to do is look at the products that we have that work at the cellular and DNA level and can help to really push up on the repair and the rebuild and get the high energy no matter how many candles on the cake we have. So if there's one thing besides the amazing products that work, I have to include those in that, that really makes Univera stand out from other natural product companies in the world is the science. We have leading edge science, and really I've heard that Univera is probably 5 to possibly 10 years or more out from any other companies. They have $5 million annual research and development dollars, 100+ million to date that go into that research. Anita told you about the genomic research that we have, and what does that mean? That there are 36 genomic laboratories in the world, and most of them are, like she said, with pharmaceutical companies and also hospitals. Two of those 36 genomic laboratories are owned by Univera. They're able to really look at what happens at the DNA level when you during their product development. So they have 177 patents awarded and pending. That's amazing in and of itself, because some natural product companies have maybe 1 to 3 patents, perhaps. We have 177. Univera owns the world's largest medicinal plant library. It's bigger than the Smithsonian Library, and it actually has the ability to find out what happens when you take plant botanicals, put them through pharmaceutical science, and to really see what happens at your DNA level. And that's how they develop their product line.
And one of the things too about the medicinal library, they also study how each one of those plants, when it's ingested into the body, and how it interacts with the other plants too, which I think is something that pharmaceutical companies don't do.
Right.
Okay.
So Extra is really the signature drink of Univera. It's all about energy, and it has been scientifically proven to reduce the rate of DNA damage in as little as 14 days. Here's another picture of Extra, just kind of showing you all those deep, rich, dark cherries and berries that are in that drink. And really it addresses the 4 things that people go to the doctor for when they're feeling and really going through this aging process. They're lacking energy. They need mental clarity and focus. I know that happened to me back when I was 46. I was not feeling clear, and I was forgetting things. And stress relief. So helping to address stress. Who doesn't have stress on their systems, on their bodies? Joint comfort and flexibility. All those 4 things are addressed through this drink, and it's also 1 ounce is the equivalent to the antioxidants of 10 fruits and vegetables. So the recommended dosage is actually 2 ounces. So you're getting the antioxidant value of 20 fruits and vegetables every single day. Aloe is the other signature drink, and really incredible product. This is our newest aloe product, Aloe Select. And it supports nutrient absorption, it supports digestive health, provides probiotic support for beneficial intestinal flora growth, and it promotes immune and antioxidant defense. An amazing, amazing product that everyone really should be on. So what I like about Univera is it has a very simple formula to get you started. 2 by 2. So just 2 products 2 times a day. And that is with Aloe Select and Extra. And putting those 2 together is a great way to start your health onto a new road. And here's just a little diagram to kind of explain in the middle. You would start with Aloe Select and Extra 2 times a day. And then, like Anita was telling you before, that we all have our own renewal, our own path to renewal. So we're all maybe addressing different things. Perhaps you'd want to also address more energy. Perhaps you want to deal with healthy weight. Maybe you want to look into something for your skin, or the whole shebang, which would be your whole metabolism. So you would add those products in with your program. Here's a picture of the metabolic makeover where you can have peak health. It really is addressing your entire system, really making over your metabolism from one of damage to a metabolism of repair. So as you see on the left, you have Extra and Aloe, the two products, and then you would add Regenifree, which addresses inflammation. We all have inflammation. And the one thing that I really learned about inflammation is that, if you have inflammation in your knee, it doesn't stay localized there. It means that you have inflammation throughout the body, which probably is in your heart and in your brain as well. So you do want to get on top of inflammation. Rhythmatics, the second product line there, is for heart health, for circulation, and we all, of course, can benefit from that. And then Level G addresses the blood sugar levels. Lots and lots of diabetes happening in the world. So this whole system with 5 products is really the metabolic makeover. W389, that is our newest product line for skin. So it diminishes lines and wrinkles, increased brightness and clarity, and improved texture. I really love this line because both men and women can use it. So it's not specific to just men or women. We can both use it. And it's made from the flax lily. They found flax lily plant, and also from the white part of the aloe plant. And I know Anita had read something about the workers who were actually working with the aloe had their hands kind of in the white aloe when they were one hand in there while they were working with it, and they noticed that hand actually improved in its texture and clarity. And so that's when I think they really discovered something big there. And here's just a picture of what happens diminishing some of those fine lines after 8 weeks. And some of those kind of dark spots, the aging spots that we get, this is after 90 days that it really improved the skin.
And I have to just back up to this photo because I just took my before, and then I'm 30 days out. I took my 30-day photo today, so I'm going to be publishing that pretty soon because I did notice a significant, it was kind of like this. It's more of a little subtle, but if you really look at it, there are some changes. So
a guaranteed solution. What I really love about Univera is that you can try any products, and it is recommended that you do them for 90 days. You take them for 90 days consistently, and if after the 90 days you don't see, feel, or measure a difference in any way, you can get your money back. And I think that's just an amazing idea, an amazing thing that can happen, because I can't go into Vitamin Cottage or Trader Joe's or any of those other places, GNC, and take my empty bottles back and say, these didn't work. Could I get my money back? So I think that this allows you, it's no pressure. You're absolutely getting to try the products, and if they work for you, my gosh, of course, it's amazing. So Ken Anderman, one of our independent associates, he says, if the products don't work for you, you get your money back. When they work, you get your life back. People with a purpose. Univera Serve First. That is our giving back piece under Univera. And Anita was telling you a little bit about if you sign up as a new associate or a customer on a convenient plan, which is a monthly order, that will help provide essential nutrients to 4 children for 1 year. And you'll hear a little bit more about, I think in the next slides, I'll tell you a little bit more about my experience with Univera Serve First. Here's a picture of me. In 2012, I was selected to go to Honduras as part of the team delivering vitamin A to infants and children up to 6 years of age. And I actually got to travel with Bill Lee, the owner, and it really changed my life. It was exactly what I had been asking for, the purpose that I wanted to do, and so it was just incredible. Here's a picture of us at the kids outside the school. Got their little backpacks on and their shirts and their little uniform jeans. I am with Kelsey from Vitamin Angels. We actually team up with Vitamin Angels and Feed the Children, and it is just incredible. What I think I really learned the most from all of these kids and their families is that they're no different from us here. They're exactly the same. Those parents want the best for their kids just like we do here, and to be able to help with that was just really life-changing for me. Here I am at one of the communities where we are giving out the vitamin A, and I am actually giving milk, because a lot of these communities, they don't see milk. They drink Coca-Cola. It's not good. There's a lot of education happening, which is great with food and diet, but a lot of these communities do not have milk, so this was a treat to give these kids a glass of milk. Here I am with Bill. He is just, I can't speak highly about this man. If you were on earlier in our little, when Anita and I were talking about designing your life, and by design, he is the epitome of that. His thoughts, his words, and his actions are all lined up. His goal is to wake up each day and see how many people he can help. With his father's, he's doing his father's mission by bringing the best of nature to humankind, and that means all over the world, not just through the products, but through Univera Serve First. And he's one of the reasons that he's a big, huge reason why I am so involved in this company. Here we are reporting about the Serve First trip to Honduras at the Univera Convention, and I think I remember saying that one of the things was that, Bill needs our help. He needs our help, and what can we all do? What can we do to serve and help in this mission?
And what can we do? Well, we can help the mission of Bill Lee and his father by building our business with Univera. And with the Univera business emphasis, we have low overhead, it's web-based, it can be part-time or full-time, and it is home-based. And the Direct Selling Association talked about the top 100 companies, and he said, show me a company over 10 years old with between $50 million to $150 million in annual sales, and I'll show you a company that will grow to $1 billion in annual sales over the next 10 years. Univera is in the position to be, they're already in the top 100 companies. I told you earlier, about 86, I think, out of 800 and some, I'm sorry, 68 out of some 800 and some companies. And so the business part of it is an important part of it. So without the business, we don't have the products. Without the products, we don't have the business. And both of them help people in their lives to find purpose and value. So when I was taking a marketing course, I took this one course from a place called Mindful Marketing Academy. And there were 15 things that they said to consider when deciding on a multi-level marketing company to go with. And at that point, I was already with Univera, and I was just so delighted to find that Univera hits every single one of these points. Okay, the first one, what it was, is does it meet your big why? Most people come and are looking for something that that brings them a reason why they pick a certain kind of business to do. And of course, with me, it was because I had already had an experience with the products, and Univera wants you to do that. They want you to be a product of the products. So number two is, can you get passionate about the products? Of course I can, because I had an experience and I've watched other people have those experiences. Number three was, how was it introduced to me? Well, it was introduced to me by my sister, which is a relationship that I already had established. But one of the great things about Univera is it is a relationship marketing business. It is about building relationships with people. It isn't about just throwing products at people. Or trying to throw the business at them, trying to get them to join. It's about joining with people for a really bigger purpose than you would even know by just looking at the company from the outside. Is the sponsor knowledgeable about the internet? Absolutely. We all have been we definitely have moved to the internet with Univera. It's a part of it. I think any company doesn't have a presence on the internet right now is way behind the times. And Univera has some really good training and some things available, lots of marketing tools to use for your company, for your own business. Number 5, if the company has a lot of products, is there a clear package or product for people to get started? Definitely. We have the 2x2, which is the take aloe and extra for two times a day. And it's a great way to start and a great way to get people started. Number 6, from a customer's perspective, are there other competing products at equal or lesser price? How does your product stand apart from others? There is absolutely a million products out there right now in the health and wellness industry, but I can tell you what, Univera is stands alone in its science and the integrity that this company follows in producing that, taking that research and development and producing their products. We have a whole scientific-based website. We have we have white papers. Our CEO and the PhDs within the company are more than happy to work with doctors or any of those that are in the health field to understand the process that goes on in Univera. Number 7, is the product consumable with reorder cycle? Absolutely. We have a monthly convenience plan that you can get on, and obviously the products are consumable. 8, does the company emphasize the product or opportunity on their training call? 90% should be product focused. Well, as you can see, Kathy and I are really talking about a lifestyle. We believe that the products, you can't just take products and think that your life is going to miraculously change. You can't just take products and sit on a couch and think your life is going to change. Univera is really about a whole lifestyle. It's about bringing vitality, it's about bringing purpose to your life, and it's about helping others, serving others in your community. So it's really about your whole mind, body, spirit connection, like we were talking about. Is there front-end loading? If there is, beware of companies that do that. Does the company require or encourage a big front-end purchase to get started? Absolutely not. If you wanted to start the business today, you could start with a $189 package, or you could go up to, there is a package for $999, but if you think about how much it costs to actually start a business of your own, if you were just going to the bank to get a loan, most people have to get at least $100,000 to start a business today. And you can start within that price range. There are companies out there that require you to buy a lot more product and have inventory at their houses. Univera does not do that. We don't have any inventory. We might buy a few products just to gift or share with people, but that's it. How many years has the company been around? If less than 5 years, you need to be cautious. Univera's been around 13. It might be is it almost 14 now?
Actually,
probably
15, Anita.
15. Oh, it is? Wow. Okay. Where has the time gone? It's been 15 years. That's right. We celebrated that at the convention. I lost a few years here. So it's been around for 15 years. It's on solid foundation, and as you see, we have the EcoNet to support that, and we also have Bill Lee's 100-year plan to bring this company into fruition, which it already is. 11, has product line expanded or shrunk? Why? Does company focus on new innovation? The products have actually expanded and continue to expand, and they're continuing to, and they even upgrade certain products if they find that they can increase the value in the products. So definitely this company is about new innovation. We just launched our new skincare line, which took several years to bring to the table, and I'm sure they'll continue to be looking at that. 12, has distributor fees changed over the years, and is it included in the startup package? It has not changed, and it is included. It's $40 in the startup package. It's included in the startup package. 13, have minimum requirement points changed for advancement? If so, why? No, the only thing that changed was they actually added a level into the, as you move up, so that there wasn't such an extension towards the top to reach that next level. And so they made it actually a little bit more, it wasn't as challenging to get there. 13, have minimum requirement, oh, did I already do that one?
Mm-hmm.
At minimum request, that's what I just did. 14. Are the people who started the company still there, and is the purpose still intact? They are absolutely still there. Bill Lee, the company's owner, and we're going to show a slide of the company's owner and the president, and then the CEO, which we talked about. Both of those already are still intact. We do have a new president, right? That's who. Yeah. 15. How well informed is the customer service rep when you call customer care? And Kathy and I have talked about this. We are now at the point where we can sign our customers up online, but when we do need to, sometimes there's a glitch in the system, as everybody knows with technology. We sometimes have to call customer care, and we've always had really, really good experience with our customer care. And if they don't know how to answer a question or they can't get it done, they will take care of it and they'll call you back. I just had an incident last week that happened. I forgot to put the right zip code on my son's. I put the wrong zip code on there, and I caught it right after I had shipped the products to him. And she called me back within an hour and a half to let me know that she had talked to her supervisor, and they had called the warehouse and they had changed it. So it happened really fast, and she was very, very nice. So anytime I've had to work with customer care, it's been just a really, really good experience. So we do have experienced leadership, and I was talking about the CEO and new president is Tom Zimmer, and he has 40+ years of marketing and business development experience, successful track record in solving complex business issues with results-oriented strategies. We have Stephen Cherninsky, who we talked about as our Chief Science Officer. He is the guru of anti-aging and the world expert on DHEA. If you don't know what that is, it's what's called the aging hormone. He's been lecturer and advisor to the U.S. Olympic team, as Kathy told you earlier, and is an innovative developer of Univera's life-changing product line. And last but surely not least is Bill Lee, the owner, who is fulfilling his father's mission, Johan Lee, and he is a global entrepreneur, and we are in the midst of launching globally as we speak. We're already in Canada and Malaysia and getting ready to expand even further. He is an international philanthropist and well known for his giving and serving nature. And I mentioned it briefly, but he has a 100-year business plan for Univera. What company does that? Just ask. There's not very many companies who would take that time to develop a 100-year business plan. The timing is right. Why? Because there's two emerging trends in the economy right now. Preventative healthcare, anti-aging, performance, and weight loss are billion-dollar booming industries right now. And also we have a web-based business relationship marketing company. It's the fastest growing form of business as we speak today. It's on the internet, and it's the relationship marketing, attraction marketing, network marketing, whatever you want to call it. That is where the action is and the fastest growing type of business is. And the Wall Street Journal says, relationship marketing is the ultimate social business model, and technology is redefining perceptions of what it's all about. So there are unique advantages for the relationship marketing. The low overhead web-based, low cost of entry, we have online training, and it's a simple development system. You can start your business immediately leveraging the online content and web conferencing. And so how much do you earn? Let's get to the bottom line, and you can see right here we have different levels of compensation, and I can tell you that I've only been with Univera as a relationship marketing company, and I can tell you that other people who have come to our company from other MLM companies have said that they have never seen a compensation plan like this. You get paid on 3 different generation levels, and we also have monthly bonus and rank compensation parts to the plan too as well. And you can see here the levels. So you have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, emerald, and diamond, and blue diamond. And you can see underneath there, which is the actual estimated, that's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it? But it's the estimated amount that you can make in a month at that level. And And then what we like to say is, can kind of be the simple formula would be that if you wanted to become silver, you would bring 4 people to bronze. If you wanted to become gold, you would bring 4 people to silver. If you wanted platinum, you would bring 4 people to gold, and continuing on up the ladder. How do you start? The 2x2 starter pack. It's one extra concentrate, 1 box of extra minis, 2 bottles of Aloe Select, and the Getting Started kit included, and that's $189. And your business volume, which we like, to maintain your business status, 100 business volumes a month. It gives you that right off the bat, and it's $229. I mean, its retail value would be $229, and you can get that for $189. And also, actually, you start, if you wanted to start as the customer today and go for 90 days on the products, you could start with the 2x2 starter pack, which is extra and aloe. So it's our the aloe and the extra are our brand, it's our core simple formula for a healthy life. So Univera offers the opportunity to positively change your life and the lives of others. So why wait? Power up your life today. I want you to get started. So here's some contact information to get you on your path to renewal. Leave this up for a few minutes. So Kathy, is there anything to add while we're leaving our personal information up?
No, I just think that, you know, there's no accident that you're here. So I think you're seeing this information for a reason. And we're just really excited about the chance for you to change your life like we have changed ours and continue to change.
Mm-hmm.
Just excited that you guys are here, and we look forward to next week. It's going to be about intention, which is how do we create a feeling we want to have on a day-to-day basis by setting our intentions. So looking forward to next week.
And isn't it great, Kathy, that, I mean, I just think it's so exciting to know that we don't have to go down this this terrible road of degeneration. And yes, we're all aging and we're all eventually going to leave the planet, but we do have a tremendous opportunity to make choices in our lives that can determine how we're going to experience that process as we continue to age.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really been life-changing for me. I mean, I can't even imagine what it would be like if I had not found these products and made this decision and believed in myself that I could change, make some changes, and look differently.
Right.
How my life look differently.
Absolutely. And Kathy and I, and that's the foundation of this whole reason why we decided to use this platform, is that it isn't just about taking some products.
No.
Univera, the company, is our foundation for our business opportunity, but it is it's a whole process of taking care of the mind, body, and spirit. And with this, you know, life is a lot easier with this physical body, this vehicle that we have, if it's working for us in the way that it was meant to. And it was meant to be able to heal and repair itself, and long into what Stephen says, 100 years, right?
Yep.
Yep. So
120.
Right. 120. Right. I know. That's right. He's going to retire at 108, right? Because he's signed a year plan with Billy. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for being here, and please get in touch with us. Connect with us on Facebook. Facebook.com/Kathy, Chris, Anita. That's our other sister, Chris, is in there. And you have our emails, our telephone numbers. Please reach out and connect us and help us, and we'll help you get started. Take care. See you next week.
Take care.